You're welcome. Yes?
Is one country privy to the advancements? It's for another country to pick up all the goodies?
What's the question?
The question is one country privy to the advancements? Well, take a look at the International Space Station. The only real information that's shared, because there is a competitive level to this. You know, we share the interfaces. We have to have a common standard on the station, and we're all air handling and so forth. But we share the medical data, because we have that's part of the partnership. We want to send people back to the moon and to Mars and see and keep them healthy on the station. But there's a lot of research being done in the Japanese lab that some of it's intellectual property that we don't know about, some in the European labs, some in our labs. Those are laboratories. Look at that laboratory as just being in a different location than, you know, as it's a national lab. And it's doing research that cannot be done on the ground. And so there's going to be a mix of research up there. Yeah?
I have a question about the President's statement about privatizing things. I don't understand that. I thought that most of the program was done by private organizations just by contract.
That's exactly right. And that's
so I'm confused.
So am I. And I think they're confused as well. When Boeing's a private company, Northrop Grumman's a private company, Lockheed's a private company, you know, all those are private companies, so we don't understand what that means either, except they want to give money to startups that to develop a capability when they really don't have a business model yet. So it's very confusing, and I think it needs to be elevated to that level of discussion, because you still want competitive contracts out there.
I have one other question.
Yeah.
It's completely different. I've always loved to watch videos of that one small section you have of actually being in the liftoff portion, where you see the chairs shake a little bit, and then you even hear them talk about that it's kind of a rough ride. But if you're a first-time rider, you know, you're the first time going up, do they actually sit you down in a lecture hall and say, this is what it's like to go up, and this is what you should expect, and this is how much the chair is going to shake, and this is, do they really prep you on the actual rough ride that it is?
It's not that rough. You know, it really isn't. You know, the maximum G level is 3 Gs. We go out in the T-38 and pull, you know, 4. And the camera looks like it's jiggling a lot, but it's really not that bad. And our simulators actually we have motion simulators. It turns you on your back, it shakes a little bit. Doesn't have the G level, but it does take and put you slightly heads down, so you feel like you've got a little bit of G load. So I felt pretty well prepared. I mean, if you've gone out in the T-38 and you've done acrobatics and you understand what G load's all about, and you've done the simulators, you're prepared. At least it's not like the F-16. I went up in the F-16 and had to wear a G-suit, and we were pulling, you know, 7.5 Gs. That's pretty tough. So how about do one more? I know it's been a long evening. I thought I saw one more hand. Yes?
Is it difficult to sleep in space?
Is it difficult to sleep? Actually, you're weightless, and I felt very comfortable. You're kind of relaxed, you're kind of fetal position. You get in your sleeping bag, you make sure it's tied down someplace so you don't float away. You put your little eye shades on, your Walkman in your ears, and you just kind of zone out and you go to sleep. Actually, the biggest challenge is because you're kind of relaxed all the time. If you've had a really long day and you're kind of sleepy and it gets a little warm, if you close your eyes, you're not careful, you might just fall asleep in place because you're not going to fall down. You just kind of, and we actually, I was looking, we had a half a day off on my 3rd mission. We had a payload specialist on board, and he went down to the airlock. He said he was looking for something, and the rest of us were looking out the window, and we had this half day off, and he hadn't come back for a while, so I went to look for him, and we put all kinds of things in the airlock, you know, bags of dirty clothes and stuff, and I saw, we don't wear shoes, you just have to wear socks because you're not walking or anything. I saw his feet with the socks there, it's kind of sticking out of that stuff, and I got concerned because, you know, this airflow thing, there wasn't a duct in there, so I was wondering, gee, you know, did he get lightheaded and pass out? Well, he'd gotten in there looking for something, and he was so comfortable, he just fell asleep.